so nobody keep track. Okay. So it was a chilly February evening back in 1995. 1995. It was Rosh Chodesh Adar. And Rabbi Levy was waiting at the front of the main building when I came in with my big suitcases, and he graciously escorted me down to the old dining room. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, sorry. So we went to the old dining room where I enjoyed my first pizza night, and this was before we had to sign up for dinner, and they had Pam Shnia. It was excellent. And Rabbi Levy introduced me to Shoshana Sales, who was a talented artist who would later become a lovely friend and my madricha, and I know she's sitting right there. And we ate together with Rachel Solman. I don't think she's here tonight. Also a talented flautist. And we ended up learning in Shalhevet together. We collaborated musically on many occasions. The most memorable one, which was, of course, Let There Be Light. Yeah! So Let There Be Light was the first of several musical dramas that were written and performed exclusively by Navei students. I saw Rachel a few months ago. We both attended Mrs. Winkler's son's chasna, Rabbi Levy's grandson's chasna. So we got to catch up. It was really beautiful. So when it was time for me to move into the dorm, so Shauna Gishin, now Cohen, now house mother, she helped me schlep my bags. And over the years went on to become my classmate, my roommate, my fellow madricha, my shomeret at my chasna, and my close confidant. So I'll tell you, when I was growing up, there were quite a few synagogues in my neighborhood, and they all sported a men's club and a sisterhood. And the sisterhood, what did they do? They had raffles, they did flea markets, musical evenings, but as young as I would often ask, why are they called a sisterhood? Then later on in life, when I went to university, and for 6 years, I was surrounded by girls running around in sweatshirts with these big symbols emblazoned on it. And I would look at them and I would say, what exactly is sorority? I never quite figured, I mean, whatever. It was all Greek to me. And then I came to Navei. I was a bit of an anomaly when I came to Navei because I was actually Shomer Shabbos, Shomer Kashrus all my life. But I had been sufficiently submerged in secular, liberal, academic society for at least 10 years, so they accepted me anyway. I would describe my experience in Navei as going through the rinse cycle. It started very early on in a Mishlei class with Rabbi Refson, where Rabbi Refson challenged my graduate school psychological theories simply by saying, "Oh, young lady, take your secular glasses off my Torah." Didn't have to even get sent to the principal's office for that one. So with the help of Rabbi Shalkovsky, Rabbi Kast, and oh, I'm going to get into trouble for that, and many other staff members, too long to list, but forever in my heart, I was able to make that journey to pure truth. But really, what enabled me to be successful to achieve that with a lot of siyata d'shmaya? And simply it was because I was surrounded by so many young women from all around the world with the same quest. We learned together, we laughed together, we sponged together, we sang together, we struggled together to embrace Yiddishkeit and to make it our own. We made extra chavusas, we davened at holy sites for ourselves, for each other. And when it came time to part, we kept in touch, or maybe not. But for sure, whenever we would cross paths years later, we would just pick up where we left off. This is what sisterhood is. It's a bond that's created through shared experiences rooted in soul connection, in ruchnius, in connection to Hashem, and that desire to continue to grow. So a few years back, I came across this forgotten box in my machzan, and it was filled with Navei stuff. And one of the things I pulled out was a packet about this big of printed out emails with my name highlighted at the top. So those of you remember when Navei was on the cutting edge of technology, we all shared the one Navei email address to be able to receive incoming emails. That's when we still had one phone incoming for each dorm and the 2 pay phones outside. It was gewaltig. But reading these emails 20 years later, I was so struck by the gift of Torah and Hashkafa that Navei gave me, and the gift of sisterhood that Navei gave me. I was still in touch with several of these women, and I was amazed to see that our conversations of today were an echo. Now, I won't even say an echo, it's a continuation of those email correspondences or conversations we had 20 years before. It was still full of sharing, full of support, full of questions. How do I deal with this nisayon? How do I get through? What's the proper hashkafa? And appreciating all of the brachas that we had. Navei gave us all incredible tools for life. But at the same time, Navei gave us sisterhood, gave us family to travel along with us on our journeys. So I came to Israel. When I came to Navei, non-refundable, non-exchangeable 3-month ticket, which was very indicative of how I was like, this is a pit stop. I'm getting on to real life as soon as we're finished. So 25 years later, I'm still here. I had a tremendous bracha. I was able to learn in Navei for 2 years, part of which I was a madricha. And when I finally got engaged and married, Rabbi Shokovsky staved off my separation anxiety, from Navei, that is, and he offered me the job of head madricha, which I was able to do for 4 years. And then after a 5-year hiatus, I came back. I was a tutor in Shalhevet, a substitute teacher for 7 years. So I've been around for a while, I guess. But I've taught in many other seminaries, and it's such an amazing experience when I get a student that it turns out I taught her mother, or I was her madricha, or maybe she'll just say, oh, my mother went to Navei. And right away there's this connection, and I just feel like, oh, I have a new daughter. And it makes it so special that way. And why is it? Because this is the Navei family. And how special is this Navei family? So back in 2001, I stopped working to become a full-time mother. It was right after the birth of my second son, Shalom Baruch, who was born prematurely at 25 weeks. Baruch Hashem, he survived after 5 months in the neonatal unit, but it was followed by years of hospitalizations and medical emergencies and who knows what. I still don't know what. All of those lessons that I learned in the classroom, emuna, bitachon, hashkacha pratis, nisyonos, it became my lifeline. I honestly don't know how I would have weathered it without all of that chachma I was given and all those tools that I was given. But on top of that, Hashem made sure I had support, I had sisterhood. We were visited in the hospital by Navei staff, by Navei alumni. Navei alumni all over the world were davening for my son. And I tell people that every cell in his body is branded with Kapitlach Tehillim. So I think it was about 2 years ago, I bumped into a Navei alumna, and her first question was, oh, how's your baby? And I looked at her, I'm like, my youngest was 3. So I'm like, my baby? She's like, you know, the one we're davening for. I'm like, oh, he's almost 17. Emir Hashem, he'll be 19 next month. Navei, it's tools for life, it's sisterhood, it's family. I give us all a bracha that we should just be blessed to continue on our journeys together b'simcha, and that we should take everything that we learned and use all of our strengths and our talents and our abilities to perpetuate the legacy of Navei. Thank you.
To close this beautiful evening, before we do some singing, who else could we call upon than our very own beloved Rebbetzin Heller?
I'm going to keep it short because we have singing to go and that's much more fun. And in any case, I had sort of my introduction. I was told, here's like somebody young from Navei, then we have somebody later. Like, I guess this is latest. Anyway, So, given that I started teaching here when I was 2, it's still been a long time. And there are 2 things I want you to be focused upon, because I need to be focused upon them, as does everyone. One is, you're not better or worse than your friends and relatives, but you ended up in Navei. Is that true? You owe an enormous grace to Hashem. It's His guidance that brought you here. And for you to maximize everything that He gave you on a silver platter, the companionship, doesn't this feel like a huge wedding? Does it not? Okay. So what He gave you deserves simcha, it deserves gratitude. And the more you focus on the hashgacha that took you here, the more you'll feel it. So I'm going to tell you a hashgacha story I just heard today. From all of the wild stories I ever heard about how I ended up in Navei, this was the best one. There's a girl who went to Hebrew U, and she was perfectly content there. She wasn't seeking particularly. And somebody told her about an anthropology adventure where people would explore the mystic Eastern roots of various religious beliefs. And she said, that sounds fascinating. And they told her to stand in front of a certain building, and the vandal picks up all of the students who've signed up, will pick them up at a certain time. She stood in front of the building. A different van taking girls to Navei stopped. She had no idea where she was going. Could you imagine this when she ended up in Bayit Vagan? Exotic, fascinating Bayit Vagan. And here she is. So this, even though her story is wilder than most, it still is an enormous thing that Hashem brought you here and gave you the opportunity to feel the grace and goodness of being with each other. But Hashem has shluchim. Is that not so? You all also owe an enormous debt of gratitude to Rabbi Refson.
Okay. The men are going to be benching, and you could say Zuman and bench. In the meantime, I cannot get over such an evening. And I can't imagine when we're in a room full of so many women not to do what we do best, is to stop for a minute and daven. We all know somebody that needs tefillos, people sick, people that are in the middle of Shiva now, people that still need shidduchim, people that need babies, all of Klal Yisrael that needs Yeshuas and the Gula. I ask Mrs. Bryna Goldberg to please say with all of us Shir Hamalos, Esa Einai. And after Shir Hamalos, just one few seconds of quiet. Everybody say their own tefillah to themselves. I just feel like the power in this room of women, we have to daven.
Sheila Malos, Esa Einai El Horim, Me Ayin Yovo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai Ose Shamayim Va'oretz. Al Yitain Lamot Raglecha Al Yonum Shomerecha. Hine Lo Yonum V'lo Yishon Shomei Yisrael. Adonai Shomrecha Adonai Tzilecha Al Yad Yiminecha. Yomam HaShemesh Lo Yakecha V'yoreach Balayla. Adonai Yishmorecha Mikol Ra Yishmo Es Nafshecha. Adonai Yishmo Seisecha Uvoecha Me'ata V'ad Olam.
May all our tefillos be answered l'tova. Thank you, men, for joining us. We appreciate you coming. And I'd like to call upon... Bye. Okay. The rabbis are leaving. Rabbi Tchaikovsky's leaving. Okay. Okay, and to end a beautiful evening and to continue with our tefillos, we have Rebbetzin Chana Leviton and Lizzie, what's your married name? Lizzie Serling, to sing us to a beautiful beginning of the next 50 years of Navei. Thank you so much. Please join in. And thank you all, rabbis, for coming. I know how nice this was that you came, and it means so much to all of us.
Okay, we're so excited to share this music with you. Please gather around. For some of us, we've been kumsitzing for many years together. We're starting in Beit Vagan on the roof. Right. 1985. Woohoo! And those of us who made the trip over here in the mud, remember when Navei Yerushalayim was mud? Rehova Kablan was mud. Remember those days, huh? Right? We've come a long way.
I have to wait for the... We're just giving the Rebbeim a few minutes to escape the premises before we all start singing. Very familiar feeling at Neve, finding the space, a corner, a building, a time to sing together.
Everybody's invited to join in the music, and if anybody wants to leave, it's fine. You're invited to do that too, but quietly.
Rabbi Marcus walked up to me. He was like, please don't sing, and he went running to the door. So I hope he made it. Rabbi Marcus.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Here we go. We good? I'm gonna wait another minute. Let them escape. Are we good to sing? Okay, all right. Okay. Okay.
No, 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 that's good. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
But you can write Foley. They can't write anything.
Well, it's your call. So what do you want? They can turn it off. That's it. Turn it off. And turn it off. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's start. We gotta start. Wait. Where's your capo? Capo.
It's right here.
First, hey, Lizzie, give me the first chord.
Can I listen? Okay, everybody. This is the first song I ever learned at Navei. I have a feeling this might be the first song you learn too. Now, I hope that you'll sing together with us tonight, because this isn't supposed to be a show from us for you. This is meant to be us all singing together, and I hope it brings back some memories of your time at Navei.
And our opportunity to say thank you to Navei, to really say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for this incredible opportunity to be Benot Navei and to have this opportunity to be together tonight, which is unbelievable.
It's okay if Thank you guys. Wow, those potatoes really gave you some koach. The succulent meat that was promised, it really went in. It was succulent indeed. Thank you so much, Neve. Okay. This next song is one of my very favorites. I hope that you'll sing it with us. It always really connects me to that place of loving music, which was very much a part of my experience at Navei. Thank you so much to Navei for encouraging me to continue to do what I'm doing.
Hey, Lizzie,
And so I hope you'll sing with us. guys are incredible. Okay, we have time for one more song. I just want to tell you, say, you know, I think it's really special because they've done these reunions all week long of, you know, people from all over the world who came to Navei. And I think it's really special that we're here now in the place where it started for all of those people. I know that Yerushalayim is a very important part of all of our stories. I feel so fortunate and so blessed to be zoche, to still live here. And I just want to thank Neve for having me. You know, when I first came to Neve when I was 18 years old, I was too young to live in the dorms. And I remember I went into Rabbi Lipp's office and I said, you know, I'm really interested to learn more, but I need a place to stay. And he said, I'm sorry, but you know, you're 18, you're too young, I don't have a place for you to stay, you know, you're gonna have to figure it out. And I told him, okay, so I'll just go back. And he said, okay, fine, you're in building 2, you're in building 2. And that was one of just so many stories of the absolute rachmanis that they had on me and my, you know, shenanigans during my time in Navei. I'll never forget the experiences that I had here. I'll never forget the impact that Yerushalayim has had on me. Girls who are in seminary now, I hope you know that you will look back on this time as just an unbelievable blip in time when you had the opportunity to live in the center of the world. And for those of you who were at Navei, either recently or before, we know that we remember our time, we remember Navei, and we remember Yerushalayim. And so with that very on-the-nose transition, here's Im Eshkachech. Im Eshkachech Yerushalayim Ateshkach Yemini Tinbach Lishoni Alechiki Imla Ezkerechi Thank you for having me. Have a great night.
Chanel, Bob,
Thank you, Mrs.
Yerushalayim.
Levitan.
וכל הזמן, וכל זמן בעת, וכל הזמן, וכל זמן בעת.
Shamor ben Take one. Take one.
We're davening, girls. These are the tefillahs that count. One more time.